Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with my beautiful wife, Karina from Venezuela. And happy, what is it, Wednesday today, November 20th, 2024, 6 p.m. Central Time here in the Panhandle of Florida. And this is your YouTube channel. We are here to answer your questions about green card processing, K-1 visas, tourist visas, and spousal visas, CR1 and IR1 spousal visas. Karina's from Venezuela, and she came to the United States because I wanted her to be here with me. I wanted her to be my wife, and here she is, Mrs. Diego, Karina Ross. She has a green card. She got a green card June 25th of 2024. She applied for her green card February 29th, 2024. Okay, we got married on January 14th, 2024. We arrived in Miami on January 3rd, 2024. So I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you any legal advice, okay? But I've got 10 years experience processing green cards and K-1 visas, and also spousal visas. I've got 10 years experience under my belt. I've helped hundreds of people. You don't need a immigration attorney to do this. It's not difficult. You just got to be patient, and you just got to know what you're doing. And what does that mean, know what you're doing? It means that you don't rush the process. Getting a green card, getting a spousal visa, getting a K-1 visa is a slow process, okay? It start at A and you end at Z. It's a slow process. Like I said, I'm not giving you any legal advice. I don't work for USCIS, okay? I'm not an immigration attorney, but I can help you with these green card questions and K-1 visa questions and help you even fill out the paperwork if you want me to. Okay, I can help you do it for free instead of paying an immigration attorney $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. Mrs. Asadu, OMG Diego, and wifey Sheena from Maryland. I missed you guys. Well, Mrs. Asadu, I remember you, Karina. We both remember you in Maryland. We helped you with this process. Welcome back on the channel. It's good to see you back to hang out with us. MB, good evening, Diego and Karina. We appreciate your service to us anytime. I got a question. Tengo una pregunta. My wife's work authorization was approved. Very good. And but the green card went from 6 months to 13 months. Well, I'm going to give you a mountain. I got to bring out the pixie dust for this one. Okay. I got to bring out the pixie dust. I'm going to put pixie dust on your green card. Okay? And I'm going to give you a Mountain Dew salute, if I can even open this thing up, for your work permit. Congratulations. It's not going to take 13 months to get a green card. It's going to take about 9 months. Okay? The reason immigration says 13 months is so you don't call them at the 8-month or the 6-month window, and you ask, where's my green card? Don't panic, okay? You're going to get it. You'll get your green card. Now, let's see here. GLK Dog 01, hey Diego, I got an RFE on a gust, and you got an RFE in August. Let me translate. I can speak all kinds of English, okay? So you got an RFE in August. They received my RFE in September, and I'm still haven't got an answer from Form I-485. It takes about 3 months, maybe longer, to process the RFE. So, guys, ladies and gentlemen, before you submit your green card application, make sure you check it very carefully before you send it. If it's taking 9 months to get the green card, it's going to take a bit longer for you to clear the RFE. But if you applied for the work permit, at least you are together. Number one, you are in status. You are together. Okay? And Mrs. Asadu, my husband got his green card. Well, there's another Mountain Dew salute for Mrs. Asadu. And it's good to see you guys. Well, thank you. We're glad to see you back. We understand, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Once you get your green card in your hand, we understand that if we don't see you anymore on the channel, then we have accomplished what we're supposed to do, which was to help you get your green card. And then if you don't need the channel anymore, if you don't need the channel, then the mission was a success, right? This channel is for you to help you get your green card and your K1. Once you get your K1, once you get your green card, if you don't have to come back on the channel, the mission is done. The mission is to help you get the green card. But if you want to come back and hang out and just chat with us, you can do that if you want to. We're glad to have you. GOK Dog, mine went to 11 months after it said 2 months. Well, it's going to be about 9 months. Goku Glover 1. Hello, Diego. This is Giovanni. Giovanni. If I remember, best wishes for you and Karina. Question. My fiance has 6 months visa for entry to the United States, but not sure if she and daughter can make it before the 6 months expires. Well, let me put it this way. Can we extend the K1 visa? If so, what do we do? No. When you get your K1 visa and your passport, it's good for 6 months. You better use it in 6 months, preferably before the 6 months, and preferably before your medical exam expires. If you don't use the K1 visa in 6 months, it's automatically terminated, and you have to reapply from the beginning again for the K1 visa. And then you have to write a long letter of explanation as to why you didn't use the first K1 visa that was issued to you. So here's the secret. You get your K1 visa, you do your medical exam, and you get on a plane and you come to America. That's what it is. Your old country is history. You're now going to make your life in America. You're going to get married to an American citizen, and you're going to become part of this melting pot and become American, become a U.S. citizen, and your green card is good for 2 years, and then it's good for 10 years, and your K1 visa is good for 6 months. So, if you have been issued a K1 visa, you cannot extend it. You got one shot to use it, and that's within 6 months and before your medical exam expires. If you enter the United States with an expired medical exam, but your K1 visa is still valid, you will be denied entry, okay, into the United States. So you got to leave your country. So Goku Glover 1, we are having lately issues with her daughter's father, and looks like we won't be able to fix them before the visa expires. Then you're going to have to reapply for the K1 visa from the beginning. Once the K1 visa is terminated, you cannot extend it. You're going to have to reapply and go all over again, and this time during the Trump presidency. So whatever the issue is with the father, the daughter's father, you need to get it fixed and resolved. Okay? You got to get it fixed with the father and say, look, dude, don't screw up this whole thing for your kid. For your daughter, excuse me, not your kid. For your daughter. Don't mess it up for her. Okay? Get it fixed. Mrs. Asudu, my husband got his green card in 5 months. 5 meses. Muy bien. That's a Mountain Dew salute from Mrs. Asudu. Congratulations. 5 months. Larry Piercy. Sobe got an RFE request for initial evidence mailed yesterday. I have no idea what it could possibly be, for I am hot. I went over this at least 130 times. Okay. Well, don't panic with an RFE. Don't worry about it. It just means they're asking for something extra in your visa application, in your green card application. Don't worry about it. Whenever the letter comes to you, whatever they ask for, you give them. And then you mail it back to them. Okay? Don't panic. Don't get angry about it. So we got an RFE, and you have no idea what it could possibly be for. It's probably something stupid, something simple. Okay? Don't panic, Larry. Just calm down. You will get it. you'll get the green card for her, okay? They're just missing something. There cannot be anything that you missed. I understand. But there's something that they need, okay? It's probably something really simple. But remember, immigration has to go by congressional law, and if you miss something by accident, you got to go by the book. It's not immigration that's doing this to you. It's the law that was created by Congress. They're just following congressional law, okay? So don't panic. Whatever it is, it's probably something simple, and I will help you get it resolved. I'll get it resolved for you, Larry. So calm down. Mrs. Asadu, yes, we made sure we submitted more than enough evidence. You guys helped us so much. Well, we're glad to be here. We're gonna help. We're gonna help everybody. New people start coming on the channel. I changed the name of the YouTube channel. So, you know, if somebody's looking for help with a K1 visa, they're not going to have to type Diego Ross. They're going to type free advice for K1 visa. So I changed the name of the channel to make it easier for people to find the channel. If you have an RFE on a K1 or a green card, don't worry about it and let me help you process it, okay? I will get you through it. Jay Quan Time. Hey, Diego, got no questions today? Okay, but have a good night. You guys look good. Well, thanks. Appreciate it. Chris and Emma, my fiance, wants to know, do we have to wait 2 to 3 weeks to get married? No, you can get married today if you want. Call up the pastor and say, hey, dude, what are you doing? It's 6 p.m. Central Time. Get it. Can you marry us right today? You don't have to wait 2 to 3 weeks to get married. You can get married the day you arrive in America. But you got to at least wait 50 to 60 days before you apply for the green card. So you can put together a good green card application. Ahmed. Hi, Diego and Karina. Happy to see you together. Thank you, Ahmed. We're here. Chris and Emil. Karina. That's Karina right here. Chris and Emil. You got her name right. Go Kulova 1. We are having lately issues with the daughter's father. Fix it. You get him on the phone and you say, look, dude, don't be messing with your daughter, with his daughter's future in America. You got to fix it. Okay? I'm serious. Francois Livingston. Good evening, Diego and Karina. Francois. Miss Senora Francois. Mrs. Francois, now married to Hamid. Congratulations. Francois made it through this nightmare. Now she's getting her green card paperwork together for Hamid. Go Giovanni 1. Okay, thank you. Giovanni 1, you can do this, okay? You cannot extend the K1 visa. You got to get that guy on board with what's going on. The father's got to get on board with the daughter so that she can leave the country that she's in. What? Remind me of the country. Was it Colombia? Chris and Emil. The CFO told her about change of status and do her green card, able to work in 3 to 4 months. Is it true? Okay, let me go over how you can work in the United States of America. You're going to have a work permit, a green card, and a social security number. If you have a work permit, a green card, and a social security number, either one, work permit or green card, you can work in America. If you don't have a work permit, but you have a social security number, you cannot work in America. If you have a green card and you don't have a social security number, you can work, but you got to get a social security number. You got to have it. You got to be able to fill out a W-4 so you can file taxes. When you start working in America, the company that you work for or whatever is going to stop paying your FICA tax. They're going to pay half. Like Karina has a good job. They pay half. The company she works for, she pays her part of the FICA tax and the company pays the other half. But you can't do that without a social security number. So Chris and Emil, you can work in America. Okay, your beneficiary, she can work in America when she has a work permit, green card, and social security number. Brownie, RSPS, hello Diego and Karina. I fly out to the United States in 12 hours. 12 hours. And that's going to be on Virgin Airlines, right? Are you going to fly on Virgin Islands? I've got a 4-hour coach ride. That's a bus ride. English. I'll translate English, England speak for you. Brownie's got a 4-hour Greyhound bus ride to Heathrow in a few hours from now. Well, that's going to be an X. Now you're leaving it kind of. I would have been in already at Heathrow by now. I would have left much earlier. I would have got the coach a little bit earlier. I know what you're saying when you're riding on a coach. It's like a Greyhound bus or one of those. It's like one of those tour buses. I would get there earlier. Larry Piercy, there cannot be anything. You're like these clowns follow the law. They do. There's something, Larry, that you missed. Something very simple and easy to fix. As soon as you get the letter, you can fix it. If you want me to help you, I will help you. But don't panic. Mrs. Asadu, RFE doesn't mean something is bad. It means they are reviewing your case and say you missed something. But it doesn't mean something bad. Mrs. Asudu is correct. Don't panic, Larry. It's something simple. Francois Livingston went to apply for a Social Security card yesterday, finally. Memorable appointment. Got to take 2 weeks to get it. That shouldn't take but 10 days. They tell you 2 weeks, but you get it in 10 days. Applying for a Social Security card should be labeled like the scary visa interview. Well, listen, Francois, you live in upstate New York, okay? So you live in a sanctuary state where if you're an illegal immigrant, you got sanctuary. I was at New York City. New York City, right? You got a governor of New York is a Marxist, borderline. She's pretty much a communist. She wants to make people pay $9-10 just to go into New York City across the bridge. What is it, the Verrazano Narrows Bridge or the Brooklyn Bridge? I don't know what bridge it is. But the governor of New York said, now you got to pay $9 one way to cross into New York City. So people that live in New Jersey are going to say, screw you, I'm going to go do my shopping somewhere else. What about people that live and work in New York City? What about people that work in New York City but live in New Jersey? Now it's going to cost them $18 a freaking day just to get to work. You got to get rid of that commie Marxist governor, Francois, and hire somebody that knows what the heck they're doing. Can you imagine somebody is on minimum wage, okay, and they live in New Jersey, but they work in New York City at Starbucks, and they got a little car that gets 40 miles to the gallon, and now they got to pay almost $20 a freaking day just to go to work across the bridge. And they make, what, $20 an hour. It's insane. The governor Hochul, whatever she is, whatever her name is, you got to get rid of her, Francois. You got to hire somebody that's friendly towards businesses. Anyway, let's go here. Francois, you got the Social Security card done. Boom. Mrs. Asadu, yes, you changed your name. That's why I couldn't find you. Oh, I'm sorry, but you know, I changed the name of the channel, okay, to make it easier for folks to find the channel who are looking for K1 visa help, not Diego Ross help. Yeah, you're in Colombia. Goku Giova 1. Okay, so you got a Colombian dad who's given his daughter a hard time getting the letter. So you got to get a letter from the dad to give the child permission to leave Colombia. And he's giving you a hard time signing the letter with the judge, the federal judge in Colombia. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if you are a minor living in, that's correct. Well, I'm never wrong. So the Colombian dad's being a pain. He's being a real jerk. And he's holding this letter over your head with your soon-to-be wife. Okay? So what with my experience with people like that in Colombia, okay, you got to go meet him face to face and buy him lunch and explain to him, look, you got to sign this letter so she can leave Colombia and enter the United States. It's only for immigration purposes. It doesn't mean his daughter cannot come back to Colombia in the future and visit with him. She can once she has her green card. She'll get her green card, but you got to go face to face with this guy, and you got to buy him lunch, and you got to be like, you got to understand the culture of Colombians. They want to see face to face with you. Okay, I know it's hard to do that, but you got to do that. And you guys ask him, please, very nicely. You got to be very nice to him. Be nice to him and say, look, I'm not going to stop you from seeing your daughter. She's going to be able to fly back to Colombia when she gets her green card. You're going to be able to visit with her. Here's an opportunity for you, sir, to get a tourist visa to come visit your daughter in the United States. It will be so much easier for you to get a tourist visa if your daughter is living here. The U.S. Embassy in Bogota will not deny a tourist visa and keep families separated. You apply, tell the gentleman, that Colombian who's being what is in my mind, I'm not going to say, but you go face to face and say, look, the K2 visa, you got to have the letter. I promise you, sir, that your daughter will be able to come back to Colombia and visit with you. And sir, think about this. You can get a tourist visa much easier if you have a family member living in America. It's an opportunity for him to come to the United States on a vacation, to come see his daughter. But you got to explain all this to him. Okay, there you go. You got to do this like tomorrow. Okay? Tell him the things I just said. This federal judge will then sign off on the letter. He'll sign off on the letter, and then you're done. And the issue's over. But you got to do what I just said. I understand the mindset of a Colombian. I lived in Colombia 2.5 years. The Colombian dad needs affirmation from you that he's going to be able to see his daughter again in the future. Okay? Let me see. Mrs. Asadu. Larry, don't worry. Just patience. It's going to come. That's correct. Francois, Diego, can anyone watch the live stream or just subscribers? Only subscribers. I mean, do I ever ask anybody to subscribe to this channel? Never. I never do that. Do I ever ask you to like this channel? No, I never do that. To me, it's stupid. It's like a panhandler. Okay, I will work for food. Okay. No. If you like the channel, that's up to you. It's your channel. I didn't create this channel for me or for Karina. I created the channel for you guys. But if you want to ask me questions, in order to make it easier for me to answer the questions, you got to be a subscriber to ask me questions. Not because I want you to subscribe to the channel. It's irrelevant. But it basically screens out a lot of stuff that people come on here and write garbage in the live stream. They'll come on and write, stupid stuff, horrible things about fiancés and all this other stuff. It stops that, okay? So if you are a subscriber, you're going to be serious about getting your K1 visa. You're going to be serious about the green card, and you're going to be serious about asking me questions. You're not going to come on the channel and put a bunch of baloney crap out there, which I got to go and work and block people. It just makes it easier for me to. It basically makes it easier for me to answer your questions. So if you are a subscriber, you can ask me questions. If you're not a subscriber, then it's like, I don't know who you are. What, are you going to come on here and blow up the channel and try to disrupt everybody's happy day? You could, but if you're a subscriber and you do that, I know who you are. I can see right here. Okay, let's see here. Yes, you got to be a subscriber to ask questions. That protects you and makes it easier for me to screen out all the garbage. Chris and Emerald, Larry, just crank up YMCA and do the Trumpster dance. There you go. Carlos, Larry Piercy, I don't have any patience. Larry, this is the Mountain Dew. You got me, okay? I got one left. So I'm going to give you a Mountain Dew salute for the RFE. You're going to get it fixed. If you don't understand the RFE, I will fix it for you. I will do it for you. Okay? You just chill out. You just got to wait a little bit longer for the green card. That's all. But you are with your wife here in Florida. Let's see here. I can't make patience, Larry. You have to trust in this. Trust in me. Trust in Karina. Trust in the channel. And trust in God. Because he's going to put He's going to put his hand over your visa and your green card application. He's done everything so far for you, right? Now, I'm not making this a religious channel, and I'm not making this a political channel. It's just what I believe. Let me see. Carlos, checking into class from Medellin, the city of eternal spring in Colombia. The U.S. consulate took my prometita's original birth certificate. No. He's got to give it back. Does she need to get more certified copies for adjustment of status? Yes. And 10-year green card? Yes. When Karina applied for her 2-year green card, she had a translated, certified copy of her long form birth certificate, translated into English by a company called the Spanish Group. They don't pay me to say this, but they are very efficient. Okay, when you apply for the 2-year green card, you got to include your new wife's birth certificate, and if it's in Spanish or Chinese or Japanese or Hindi or whatever it's in, you got to translate it into English by a certified company. A certified company, translation company, will put an ATA number on the bottom of the certification. Certified by Spanish Group, ATA number, blah blah blah. Immigration are looking for the ATA number. Okay, your buddy that lives next door that has got a Spanish-English dictionary cannot translate the birth certificate. It's got to be by a company. Brownie RSPS, Delta are operating my flights, unfortunately. Okay, that's okay. So you're going to be flying into Atlanta, in my opinion. I think you're going to be flying into Atlanta if you're flying Delta from England. But I will be at the airport approximately 4 hours before the flight. Yes. You need to be early. You need to get there about 4 to 5 hours before the flight so you can get checked in through immigration. Okay, through the British immigration security. You got to get checked in. Larry Piercy, I do not panic. I take over. And yes, you're going over this. Will save me some break time. Larry, I'm going to go over the RFE with you. Okay, it's just sometimes it happens. You get one. You're not the first person to get an RFE. Okay, it's not going to take too long. If it's something simple, which I'm sure it is, I know it's something simple. Hannah, hi Diego, does Karina start learning English because they say if she wants to be a U.S. citizen, she must know English for the naturalization citizenship in order to pass the test? Karina is learning English. When you apply for U.S. citizenship, when Karina applies for U.S. citizenship, she will be able to write English. She'll be able to read English. She'll be able to speak English, and she will have her naturalization exam in English. She's going to be ready. Okay, she's ready. You got to be able. The only time you get waived from speaking English at a naturalization interview is if you've been living in America for 30 or 40 years. You're like 65, 70 years old. You know, if you're 65, 70 years old and you've been living in America for 50-something years and you've been on a green card, then they waive they'll give you the naturalization test in the language of your country. But if you're young, like Karina, she's going to have to learn English, and she's learning English. Plus, when she gets her English skills up, she's going to they've already told her they want to advance her in the company. But they said the only thing holding her back right now is English, right? But she's learning. She's learning. Larry Piercy, good idea. Chris doing it now. Ladchuk nice. I got an RFE around October 31. 2024 was told 60 days, and for some reason went to 15 months. No, it's not going to take. It's not going to take 15 months for them to make a decision on your RFE. They say that so you don't keep calling them with inquiries. So Giovanni, you're in Colombia. Okay, you got to go talk to that man face to face, buy him dinner, buy him lunch. Okay, and say, look, you're going to still be able to see your daughter. She's going to get a green card. We promise to bring her to Colombia on a vacation to visit with you. Okay, you will be able to get a tourist visa to come to the United States much easier. If his daughter lives here, he will be able to get a tourist visa much easier. And then he'll go, okay, he'll calm down. He won't feel like he's being blocked from his child, and he will get the paperwork for you. But you got to be real calm with him, real nice, okay? And you got to be what's the word in Spanish? I can't remember the word in Spanish, but you just got to be calm, okay? So you said, okay, I will do that. You're going to do that. Tammy, good night. Tammy, what's going on? How are you? How is Tammy's family? Ahmed, my hair. Hello, Diego. Got my I-485 update on my USCIS online account. Step 3, attend interview if necessary. Okay. I'm seeing that happening a few times now. Completed without interview. Okay, so you don't need an interview. When do I expect the case decision step to get done? Now you're up to about 4 weeks. You're in about 4 to 6 week window right now. Same for Denise Jefferson. Okay. But Denise, she was sent a letter or an email saying that she has to go to a green card interview. So it's, sometimes you got to go to the green card interview, but sometimes you don't. But things are getting stricter with immigration right now. I guess, things are getting a little stricter. But just because you got to go to a green card interview, it's not going to hurt you from getting your green card unless immigration doesn't believe in your relationship. So let's suppose you get notified that you have to go to a scary green card interview, right, with an immigration officer. I've seen it happening a lot in California, mainly in Orange County, Los Angeles. That's where I see it mostly. Utah, Denise is in Utah, so it's that's a one-off event. But if you get notified, you got to go for a green card interview. You're going to bring your birth certificates, both of you, your passports, your NOA2 letters, you're proving, the approval. You're going to bring all the evidence that you're living together, the deed to the house or the apartment, the lease agreement, your bank statements, proof of commingling of funds. You're going to bring everything that you submitted for the green card interview to the green card application. So when you put your I-485 together, you submit for your green card. If you get notified that you have to have a green card face-to-face with an immigration officer, don't have a heart attack. Don't panic. It's okay. Just go to the interview, but you bring all that stuff with you that you submitted for the application. Your joint bank statements, your electric bills, both names on the electric bill, the water bill, the phone bill, your health insurance. You're both on the same insurance. You're both on the same car insurance. You're both on the title to the car. Do you see what I'm saying? You bring all that with you. So the immigration officer is going to look through your documents and see that you guys are in a real relationship and approve your green card. That's what it's. So try not to don't panic if you get an RFE. Don't worry, and don't panic if you get notified that you have to have a green card interview. Don't panic. Immigration's just following the checks, okay? So Ahmed, give it, about a month, and you're good. Rohit, hi Diego. What's going on, Rohit? Larry Piercy, the dude train is coming. No, Larry, I'm just messing with you. Okay, I'll give you a Mountain Dew salute. You bought this, so I'll give you a Mountain Dew salute. Don't worry about the dew train. Focus on the RFE. I want to see it when it comes. Okay, I want to see it. Rohit, my case shows step 3, interview completed, but it changed the time frame from 6 to 10 months. So you got a 6 to 10 month change. Somebody else got a 13-month change. Somebody else got an 11-month change. It's 9 months. It's taken about 9 months. Okay. Do you know why? Well, number one, they don't have enough people. They're short-handed. Immigration is short-handed to people. Okay. But it's going to take 9 months to get the green card, maybe 11 months with an RFE. But you guys are together, under the same roof, married. All you're doing is going through a process, okay? If your relationship is real, if all your documentation is correct, there's no mistakes, you get the green card. How long will it take for the for the decision? You're at step 3. It will take about 6 to 9 months. Tammy, Diego. Let me see here. Tammy, Diego, did you say the original birth paper is needed for the adjustment of status, not a copy? No, you don't submit original documents to immigration. You don't give them. You bring your original birth certificate to the visa interview at the embassy, and then you ask for it back, and they keep a copy. When you submit your green card application, you are going to include a certified copy of the birth certificate, not the original. Mrs. Asadu, Tammy, please send a color copy of your birth certificate. There you go. Brownie RSPS, you are indeed correct. I'll be going through Atlanta. There you go. I got as long a layover as I could. Good. I could 3.5 hours. Do you think that will be enough for us to go through customs? Yes, you should be okay. I recommend a 5 to 8 hour layover between connecting flights. You're flying into Atlanta. It's the busiest airport in the United States of America. It's a very, very busy airport. You're going to have 5 or 6 international flights all landing at the same time. Well, not at the same time. They're going to take their turn on the runway, and then you're going to have everybody leaving the planes, and then going. Then you're going to see a massive line for immigration. It could take you 2 hours to get through the immigration line. That's going to leave you about 1 hour and 30 minutes to get you to your connecting flight. So you should be okay. But here's the thing. If you don't make it to your connecting flight because of immigration and the face-to-face Border Patrol interview, Delta Airlines, you explain to them what happened and you show them your K-1 visa, they will rebook you on a next available flight. Okay? But I think you should be okay. Never submit original copies of your birth certificate to green cards or K-1s or K-1 visa interviews. Certified copies. But the K-1 visa interview, you got to bring the original. They look at the original, they match it with the copy, and they give you back the original. Brownie, RSPS, I heard Atlanta has incredible long wait times for getting checked in. I don't know if that's true. It's true. Atlanta sucks. Well, Atlanta doesn't suck. Atlanta airport sucks. Okay? The airport is horrible. It's the busiest airport in the United States of America. It's the Delta hub. It's the connecting hub for Delta Airlines. Okay? You're going to have a horrendous line when you get to immigration. It's going to be horrible. But now you're prepared for a horrible line. I've just explained to you it's going to suck. The line's going to be horrible. But you'll get through it probably in about 2 hours. Okay? And then you're going to get the Border Patrol face-to-face, which takes about 5 or 10 minutes. And then you dash off to your connecting flight. If you miss your connecting flight to go to Missouri, right? You're going to fly on to Missouri. If you miss it, don't panic. Delta will reschedule you to the next available flight. Okay? Rohit, does final step decision making take that long? We never attended an interview. It wasn't necessary. No, the final decision doesn't take long. Tammy to Mrs. Asado, thank you. Mrs. Asado to Tammy, you're welcome. Giovanni, that sounds like a good plan, but has not been even good father. It's irrelevant, not child support. It's irrelevant. Don't bring that up. Nothing. Now he just wants to be a pain. Listen. People like that, okay, are all around the world. It's not just in Colombia. There are horrible people around the world, okay? But you got to overcome this objection. His objection is he's just being a pain in the backside. He's just being a jerk. He's using his authority and power over that daughter to put pain upon you and your future wife. Okay? That's what he's doing it for. He's trying to inflict pain on you because that's the kind of guy he is. Okay? He's a horrible person. But you got to overcome that. Okay? You got to go face to face with him. You got to buy him lunch or buy him dinner. You got to be nice to him. You got to be more amable. Okay? You got to be real nice to this guy. Be empathetic to him. No, I'm sorry. Don't bring up the fact he hasn't done anything for the child. Don't bring that up. Okay? Don't bring that up. Don't be going in there anger. You've never even helped this child. You never paid child support. Nothing. Don't bring it up. You do the opposite. You do the opposite. You say, no, I understand, sir, that you're going to miss your daughter. I know it's difficult for her to leave Colombia, but you can see her again in the future, and you will have an even easier opportunity to get a tourist visa to the United States. It will be an automatic approval because you have a daughter living in the United States. That's how you approach it. You don't approach it negative like, he's a horrible person. He doesn't do anything for the child. You don't bring that up. You have to show empathy towards him. You got to disarm him. You got to disarm him. Do you see what I'm saying? You got to take the arrows away from his bow. And then he will sign the papers. Okay? If you do what I say, trust me, he will help you. You got to make out like he's the victim. He has to be the victim in this case. You got to make him feel like he's the victim. And you got to say, here's the solution. And I appreciate everything you've done for this little girl. But now let me take that responsibility on. And then you don't have to worry about it anymore. You can say that. Okay? If you do what I say, he'll sign the papers for you. Chong and Chad. Vo Chong and Chad. Hey, I sent the I-45 last month. Payment denied because of credit card. What should I expect USCIS to send it back? When should I? Well, here's what you do. Number one, you never use your freaking credit card to pay for your green card. How many times do I say this, guys? Do not use your credit card to pay for your green card. So what you're going to have to do is you need to write a check. You're going to write out a check or get a cashier's check to U.S. Department of Homeland Security, right? If I can spell it. You write out a check to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. You get a copy of your NOA-2 letter, a copy of the K-1 visa, and you mail it to immigration and say, with a letter of explanation saying, I'm very sorry my bank denied the credit card transaction. Your bank didn't know what it was, so they blocked it. Happens all the time. It happens every day. You're not the first person and you're not the last person. But if you come on this channel, you're going to learn how to do this the right way. So the bank blocked the transaction. Mail a check to the address where you sent your green card application with a copy of the NOA-2 letter, a copy of the K-1 visa, a copy of your passport biographic page and her passport biographic page. Whatever you can think of, send it so they can identify the green card, and then they will be able to cash that check and continue processing your visa, your green card, before they send it back to you. You need to overnight it to them. Do what I said, and I'll save you a headache. But the rule is this: never use your credit card to pay for your green card or your K-1 visa. I keep saying it over and over and over. Tammy, hi Diego, my fiance is here in Florida, now getting married Friday, prepping for the adjustment of status. Mountain Dew salute to Tammy. Congratulations. Get in Florida too. You know what? Are you prepping for what? A hurricane? Or are you prepping for the green card? Mountain Dew salute to Tammy and her family. If you need help with your green card processing, let me know. Alex Mo, Diego question. I finally got my receipt letter, but unfortunately got an RFE for not sending full amount for work permit. I sent 260 and they want 520. No. Here's the thing. If you file for the work permit separately from the green card, there's a good chance that they might deny it, but it's going to cost you $520. If you submit the work permit with the green card application at the same time, the total cost is going to be $1,700. Karina is telling me that's a 4, not a pound. You write a check for $1,700. That covers the work permit, the green card, and the biometrics. You cannot file for the work permit separately. Okay? You can't do it. It's $520 if you come to the United States on a work. If you come to the let's suppose in your boss, you work for an oil company or something, and you get sponsored by an oil company, and you apply for the work permit. It's $520, but you're not applying for a green card for a green card. If you come to the United States on a K-1 visa, you get married, you apply for the work permit and the green card in the same application, and the price is $1,700 if you're a person over 14 or older. So what happened here? So you got a receipt letter, but you got an RFE for not sending the full amount for the work permit. You sent $260, so you obviously filed for the work permit separately from the green card. That's why that happened. That's how. Don't be confused. It's not going to affect your adjustment of status. It just means that you messed up processing the work permit. If you want the work permit, you're going to have to pay $520. And if you listen and do it, if you follow my advice, okay, I would write a letter to immigration and say, respond to the RFE and say, we are going to skip the work permit. Don't worry, we don't need the work permit. And then your green card processing will continue normally. That's what I would do. But what happened is, and I know this is what you did, you filed for the green card and the work permit separately. You didn't include the work permit with the green card application. Am I correct? Alex, tell me I'm correct. Chris and Emma, when can I do my adjustment of status? After about 50 or 60 days after you get married. It takes 50 to 60 days to get a good green card package together. Larry Pearson, yes, thanks, Mrs. Asadu. Lots of nice people here. Larry's a nice person. We're going to fix that RFE, Larry. We're going to fix it for you. Alex, hopefully things speed up with Trump. He says he wants everything done the right way, so he's going to need more employees. Yeah, he's going to hire lots of people. Here's what's going to happen with Trump. Okay, if you are in America illegally, if you jumped the line, you didn't pay your visa fees, you didn't get your medical exam, you didn't do biometrics, you didn't have a police certificate generated. If you are in America illegally in violation of congressional law, Trump will find you and deport you. Serious. Not him personally, but his team will. And then you got all these people in California, and there's a mayor, I don't know a mayor from Massachusetts or somewhere saying, oh, I'm not going to comply with President Trump's deportation order on illegal immigrants. Really? So you're going to violate congressional law? This isn't Trump's law. This is congressional law. President Trump doesn't control this immigration process. The U.S. Congress does. So you're going to be in violation of congressional law. And Trump, you know what he's going to do? He's going to slap you like a red-headed stepchild. California is going to go broke, pretty much. I don't think California is going to get much federal money from Trump if they continue to block his agenda of allowing legal immigrants into the country and removing those who are here illegally. Just my opinion. Let's wait and see what happens, right? So if you're a member of the state legislature in California and you're going to defy congressional law that's going to be implemented by President Trump elect, then doom on you. It's doom on you. Let me see. Mrs. Asadu, we were approved without an interview for our green card. We also received an RFE. Yep, I remember. My husband was approved in 5 months. Just be patient and believe. And Mrs. Asadu is 100% correct. Bawan BLS Official. I like that name. Bawan BLS Official. Hi, Diego and Karina. When do you think I'm supposed to start the application for my green card after the wedding? 50 to 60 days after you get married, you should have enough evidence collected to apply for the green card. You can't get married on Monday and apply for the green card on Tuesday. Well, you can if you want, but you're gonna get an RFE. Where's the rest of the evidence? You got to be on the bank statements. You got to be on the water bill, the electric bill, the trash bill, the phone bill. You got to get health insurance for your beneficiary. You got to prove it. Put it on your life insurance, on the deed to the house, to the title to your car, be a co-joint sponsor of the lease agreement to your apartment or townhouse, whatever. You got to prove cohabitation. You got to prove commingling of funds. You got to prove it. You can't just send in your marriage certificate and a couple of pictures from your wedding to get a green card. You'll be denied probably. You got to file a very strong green card application. It takes at least 50 days to collect the evidence to do that. Tammy, thank you. You're welcome. Larry Piercy, total was 5 months. Watt Center. Mrs. Asadu, I think sometimes they like to submit an RFE because they asked for, I had already sent it. Yeah, I remember that. I just resubmitted it again and we got approved. Yeah, I remember. Tammy, another question after getting married, if there's any documents for me to sign pertaining to adjustment of status, I will sign as the petitioner with my new married name. Tammy, let me see here. After getting married, if me to sign, I will sign as the petitioner. Okay, Tammy, when you apply, you're the petitioner. You're the U.S. citizen sponsor. The only form you're going to fill out is Form 864, the affidavit of support. Make sure you get the family size correct on that paperwork. So I've made a video on how to fill out the 864. Your beneficiary is going to fill out Form 485. And you're going to repeat the medical exam and get a doctor or a civil surgeon, to sign off on the 693 and recertify the vaccinations. You got to have those 3 forms. The 864, the affidavit of support filled out by the sponsor, the 485 filled out by the beneficiary, and the 693, the medical exam, signed by the civil surgeon. Those are mandatory forms to go in your green card application. If you don't want to get an RFE for a medical exam repeat, which could happen. You're going to include Form I-94, the notice of action form, approving the green card, approving the visa, the NOA2 letter. You're going to put color blown up copies of your passport and your beneficiary's passport in color, biographic page. Lots and lots pictures from when you started your relationship to like yesterday. Pictures in America, pictures when you were together in the foreign country. When Karina submitted her green card application, she had 4 years worth of pictures. Okay? 21, 22, 23, and 2024. It was a big, thick green card application. She got her green card in 3.5 months. You got to put together a strong package. Now, if you get a letter saying you have to go to a visa interview for your green card, don't panic. It happens sometimes, but make sure you bring all that evidence that you are cohabitating together, you are commingling money, joint bank accounts, and you got lots of pictures together from the wedding and the honeymoon, if you went on a honeymoon, and you got, 2 or 3 months or 4 months or 5 months worth of banks electric bill, water bill, trash bill, services bills. You got to prove cohabitation. You got to prove it. Immigration don't take your word for it. Okay? And Tammy says, I will sign as a petitioner with my new married name. Yes, that's correct. If you are taking your husband's last name, then you're going to sign it with your new married name. But what I would do is put a letter, a little affidavit, because it's the other way around. Normally, it's the lady takes the American citizen's husband's last name. You're the American citizen taking your foreign husband's last name. Write a letter, and you do it on page 1. Well, that's where he fills out. When you sign the 864, you're going to sign it with your husband's last name. But you need to go. Here's what I would do. Listen, Tammy, go to the DMV and get your driver's license changed over to your husband's last name. Get a new driver's license with your new married name. Okay? Tell everybody under the sun, go to the bank, change your last name at your bank, so the bank statements come in with your new married name. Okay? And then write a little letter in the green card application and say, I have changed my last name to my husband's last name. And sign it, Tammy, whatever your husband's last name is. Do you understand what I'm telling you here? Do you understand what I just said? Get a new driver's license. Get your name changed at the bank. Get your name changed on whatever bills you have coming into your house, you know? And when those bills come in, that's the evidence that you're going to submit with the green card application, that you changed your name by virtue of marriage. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let me see. Brownie RSPS, thank you. I'll try and grab my luggage and recheck it. Now, quickly, right. Brownie, also, bring your K1 visa package with you as carry-on. Do not check. When you get to Heathrow Airport in London, do not check your K1 visa application package into your luggage and have it in the belly of the airplane. You bring that paperwork with you in your hand in a carry-on. So what happens by accident? Delta Airlines sends your bag, sends your luggage to Greece, and you're in Missouri, and you're in Atlanta, and you put your K1 visa package in your luggage, and now your luggage is in Greece. You won't be able to check in to immigration in Atlanta. Put all your immigration documents in a bag and bring it over your shoulder onto the plane with you. Okay? If your shoes and dresses end up in Greece, you can buy new shoes and dresses. But if your K1 visa paperwork ends up in Greece, you are toast. You're done. Carry it with you onto the plane. Let me see here. MB is to Mrs. Asadu. When did you apply for the green card? It takes a little longer now. Tammy, yes, I will need help. Yes, prepping for the green card. Well, if you want, I made a video. It's called Adjustment of Status. I can't spell it. Karina's my eyes, okay? I made a video called Adjustment of Status. Look across the channel for those videos and you'll know exactly how to put together a green card application. Vo Chong and Chad, I sent it the 8th of October. Should I wait for the packet or should I do the steps you just said? Vo Chong, let me see what your question was here. And I will see what we got going on. I got to go all the way back up because I can remember. We're right here. Vo Chong, where? Mi amor, donde? Okay, you get a hold of the question for me. So that way, I sent the 485 last month and the payment denied because of credit card. So what did I just explain to you? Get a copy of your passport, your beneficiary's K1 visa, the I-94, the NOA2 letter, basic documents to identify your beneficiary and you as the sponsor. Write a check to U.S. Department of Homeland Security, overnight it to wherever you sent your green card application with a letter of explanation saying my bank didn't recognize the charge, so I'm paying for my green card application with this check. Overnight it. They got to get it like tomorrow. But you got to prove, you got to identify yourself, okay, in the paperwork so they can find your green card application. So the question is, should I wait for the packet? No. You do what I just said. If you wait for the packet, it's going to be rejected and sent back to you. And it's going to be stamped all over it with all kinds of immigration stuff. And you're going to have to redo the whole paperwork. If tomorrow, if you do what I just said tomorrow and FedEx it to them, then they'll get it. And then hopefully they won't reject your application. They'll get the check. Okay? Mrs. Asadu to MB, we mailed it off on March 27th. He was approved with an RFE, was approved August 20th. And we're in Maryland. That's correct. I remember Mrs. Asadu is in Maryland. And with Alex Mo, I sent it all together with green card, but they sent the money order for the work permit back saying insufficient funds. I sent it all together with the green card, but they sent the money order for the work permit back saying insufficient funds. Well, you don't pay for your green card with a money order. You pay it with a cashier's check or a certified or a personal check. You don't use a money order. It's not enough money. A money order goes up to $1,000. You need $1,700. That pays for the biometrics, the green card, and the work permit. Okay? There's a mistake in there somewhere. Did you pay $1,700? You said you did, right? Did you make a check out to U.S. Department of Homeland Security for $1,700? Huh? No. Let me see here. Let me get to that question. Insufficient funds. The work permit doesn't cost $500 and whatever you said. It's $260. They took it they processed it as a solitary work permit. They didn't process it together. There's an error in immigration. They should have processed the two together, okay? But they didn't. So if you don't need the work permit, just write a letter, respond to the RFE, and say, disregard the work permit. You don't want it, okay? Marcos Fannin Jr. Rocha. Where's the question? Mrs. Asadu to Tammy, I could help you. Also, keep watching this channel. There you go. That's some good advice. Alex Mo, I did send the money order separately. That's where the error came in there. But in the same package. No, I wrote money orders separately stating each price for each form in the same package. But that's why I sent $260, because I sent it all together. Just write a check. Somebody in immigration got totally confused. Not you. You did the right thing. But you used money orders. Don't use money orders. Don't use your credit card. Write a check for $1,700. That's for an adult over the age of 14 or older. And then there's no problems. Somebody got confused in immigration, okay? That's what happened. Do you see what I'm saying? You just got to correct it. You got to correct it by saying, disregard I don't want the work permit. Forget about it. And then that way your green card processing will continue without being in a holding pattern. Francois, when I add my husband on my work medical plan, we'll be sending copies of my adding hammer. Be helpful in the green card packet. Yes, definitely, Francois. When Karina filed for a green card, she's on my medical insurance. She's on the car title. She's on the house. She's on everything. Putting your husband on your work medical plan is fantastic. It's a very strong green card application. If immigration knows your husband Hammond's got health care insurance, that's going to be strengthening your green card application. Thomas, I sent my K-1 visa application last month. Anything else I need to do to help my case at this point? Thomas, you sent off your K-1 visa application last month. So did you get your NOA-1 letter? Did you get your NOA-1 letter? There's nothing else you can do now until you get your NOA-2 letter. Now you're waiting for the NOA-2 letter. That's what you're going to do, is wait for the NOA-2 letter. What can you do to help your case? Make another trip and go see your fiancée. What country does she live in? Go see her. Go hang out with her. Make some more time together. More evidence for your 2-year green card application. More evidence for the K1 visa interview. MB, Mrs. Asudu. Okay, got it. Thank you, Mrs. Asudu. Tammy, yes, sign with your new name. There you go. And if you have a social security card and a driver's license with your new name, that's correct. Marcos. Hi, Diego, family. We are now a year into my wife's green card. When do we apply for citizenship? In 2 years. Lastly, my wife is Venezuelan. Mountain Dew salute to our Venezuelan friends right there. And do you know any flights going there from the States? How many planes are flying from America to Venezuela? Venezuela is under the control of Nicolas Maduro, a former taxi driver who is now a communist dictator of Venezuela, who was elected by massive fraud. The U.S. government just recognized Senor Hernando as the president of Venezuela. Hermondo. If an American goes to Venezuela, he's going to be put in prison and used as a political pawn. Don't go to Venezuela. If your new wife goes to Venezuela on vacation to see mom, she will be detained at the airport with a U.S. K1 visa in her passport, and she will be detained by Maduro's thugs as a political pawn. If you are Venezuelan, married to an American, you're done. You can't go back to Venezuela. Not until Maduro has been removed from office. I want to fly to Venezuela and see Karina's mom. I want to meet her sister. I want to meet her family in Venezuela. But we can't go there because of a commie dictator named Maduro. Now, people in Venezuela watch this channel, and I'm giving you a Mountain Dew salute, and I'm going to put pixie dust all over the people of Venezuela, and hopefully President Trump will have some political clout to remove that little commie dictator from Venezuela and put him on an island somewhere like they did Napoleon. Napoleon what did he get? He got sent to Elba, right? Napoleon was born in Sardinia. Not Sardinia, Corsica. Napoleon was born in Corsica, and then that little dictator was renegated off to Elba. Maduro needs to go to Elba, or maybe Cuba. But Americans and Venezuelans married to Americans, do not go to Venezuela. Don't go. You're going to become a political pawn in Maduro's toolbox. Don't give him the opportunity. As for airplanes flying to Venezuela from the United States, there's zero. Alex Mo, immigration messed up your stuff, okay? Immigration was the problem, not you. But just write a letter and just send a letter with the RFE and say cancel the work permit. You don't want it. That's the easiest way to fix it. Let me see. So Marcos, there are no flights going to Venezuela from the United States. And even if they were, I wouldn't recommend anybody from America with U.S. citizenship or any Venezuelans married to Americans, don't go. Don't go. Stay in America. When Maduro, the taxi driver who thinks he's the president of Venezuela, once he's been removed from office and a legitimate government has been put back in place and all this communist crap has been removed, then we're going to go for a vacation to Venezuela. Tammy, okay, good. Helena Richardson, hi Diego. That civil surgeon that has to sign off is after they send the letter to go and get your biographics. Right. Once you've done your biometrics, not biographics, once you've done your biometrics, you file. Okay. Before you file for your green card, you want to go to the civil surgeon and have a repeat medical exam done in the United States. When Karina arrived in America, in Florida, first thing I did was I got on the phone to the civil surgeon and I said, look, doc, I talked to his administrative assistant. My soon-to-be wife is going to be applying for her green card. We need a medical exam for a green card. He said, no problem. She said, no problem. I sent a PDF file to the doctor of all of her Karina's vaccination records. The doctor's administrative assistant emailed me back and said, all of her vaccinations are good for the green card. I said, okay. I then scheduled the appointment. We went to the doctor's office. We repeated the medical exam. The doctor signed off on the 693 and the vaccinations. He put the documents in a sealed envelope, sealed it off with tape. He got it and taped it up with this. He said, for USCIS eyes only. And Karina put that in her green card application. When they received her green card application, that's when she got the cash check. They cashed the check and they scheduled her for her biometrics. Okay? But you got to get, I strongly urge you to repeat the medical exam with a civil surgeon authorized by the State Department and include it in the green card application. I urge you to do that. I recommend you do that to save you from getting a medical RFE. So Marcos, we're happy for you, and we're happy for your wife being in America, and you apply for U.S. citizenship 3 years from the issue date of the 2-year green card. So look on her 2-year conditional green card, look at the issue date, add 3 years to that, and that's when you can apply for U.S. citizenship. Your wife is Venezuelan? Well, Karina's Venezuelan. Do you know any flights going there from the States? No, there are none. 0. Don't do it. Do not fly to Venezuela. Tammy, got it, Diego. Helena, I answered your question, right? Now let's come on down a little bit. And Brownie, RSPS, yeah. Yeah, I got my sealed envelope in my backpack. Okay, good. Carry on. Good. Thank you for getting me this far. I appreciate you. Well, that's a Mountain Dew salute. We're going to give Brownie from England and Brownie RSPS a Mountain Dew salute. We got you to this point. You're almost there. And then when you get to the United States, we're going to get you over the threshold for the green card. Alex Mo, what should I do? They sent the money order back for work permit, but not for the other forms. So they're processing your green card. I guess I shouldn't write a check. But what should I do now? My finances needs the work permit. My fiance needs the work permit. Well, it's all totally messed up. It's all messed up. You can pay the $500 and something if you want and see if they'll accept it. You could try doing that. In the RFE, did it say what the difference was? Did they say what the difference was that you owed for the work permit? Write a check for the difference. Include it with the RFE. But if they hadn't messed it all up, you should be paying $260, not $500 and whatever it is you said. Write a check for the difference. Marcos, I cannot even find flights from Panama or the Dominican Republic. Listen, Marcos, listen carefully. Do not fly to Venezuela. I don't care if you've got 2 passports, US or Brazilian. Do not go to Venezuela with your wife. Don't do it. Listen to me. Don't go there. Venezuela right now is under a communist dictatorship. Any second there could be a massive freaking war there. The country is totally unstable. And Maduro is on the Trump list of not very nice people. And Trump's going to handle it. Wait for Trump to handle Maduro. Wait for Maduro to be no longer president. Well, he isn't president now. He's a taxi driver who thinks he's president. Okay? I'm not worried about that little commie dictator. Trump's not worried about it. Trump's going to handle it. But don't go to Venezuela until Maduro's no longer there. You got to listen to me, man. Alex Mo, what should I do if I still plan on getting the work permit? Pay the difference. Look at the RFE. What does it say in the RFE? If they're asking for more money, write them a check for the difference. You paid twice as much than you should have for the work permit, but you'll get it. That's what you can do. Tammy, does USCIS consider the fact that my beneficiary will not have income? I will still add his name to my bank account. Yes, especially in the beginning. Karina didn't have a job. When she got here, she didn't have a job. She didn't have a work permit. She didn't have a green card. She was like, I want to go to work. I said, I know. Karina's like a capitalist. She's the capitalist queen of this part of Florida. But she couldn't do anything until she got a work permit. Don't worry about it. If your beneficiary is not working, that's good. If you file for the green card and your beneficiary is working, that's a problem. How did that happen? You can't work without a green card or a work permit. So Tammy, just relax, okay? Immigration don't care. It's all good. Mrs. Asadu, to Tammy, you can still add into your bank if you have a Social Security card. That's correct. Doesn't need any income. That's correct. Marcos, I have 2 passports, U.S. and Brazilian. Okay, I don't care if you got 5 passports. I don't care if you have a Venezuelan passport. Do not go to Venezuela. Don't go. Listen, the U.S. State Department, okay, has made it very clear that you, American, Mr. American sponsor, Miss Beneficiary from Venezuela, the U.S. State Department has said, don't go to Venezuela. What does that mean? Don't go to Venezuela. Don't go. It doesn't say restricted travel, it's recommended you don't fly there. No, they don't say it's not recommended. They say, do not go. Helena, yes, thanks, Diego. You're welcome, Helena. Tammy, to Mrs. Asado, yes, he has his Social Security card. We tried for the ID card, but I was told he needs to be in the country at least 61 days, or the county. Okay, that's the rule of that state. Alex Mona, they didn't state the difference. That's why I'm confused. But they did leave a number for me to call. Then call them and ask them what the heck. Call them up and say, hey, why are you charging me 500 and something bucks for a work permit that only costs 260 bucks when I included it with the green card information? They're charging you too much money for the freaking work permit, number one. Call them up and ask them what's going on. They'll tell you. Mrs. Asadu, to Tammy, on your paper from the MVA, he should have an ID number. Okay, Tammy, I was referring to if commingling funds. Yeah, no, you can commingle funds. How do you do that? How do you commingle funds? You get a Social Security card and you get on the bank. And then you wait a couple of months, you wait 60 days, you get 2 bank statements, and you got proof of commingling of funds, and you put those 2 bank statements in with the green card application. That's how it works. Mrs. Asadu, what is MVA? Yeah, that's a good question. Mrs. Asadu, what is MVA? What does that mean? I don't even know what MVA is. I thought I knew all the answers to everything about green cards. What is an MVA? Okay, come on, give me some more questions. What questions do you have? Yeah, I'm going to take Karina to New Orleans. I'm going to take Karina to, guess where I'm going to take Karina? I'm going to take Karina to Las Vegas. How about that? Would you like me to do a live stream with Karina from the Strip in Las Vegas? How about that? Karina's like, I don't know. Maybe we'll just take a vacation and you're going to have to wait on the live stream. Maybe I'll make a video in Las Vegas with Karina and I'll post it. Brownie RSPS, that sounds fun. I'd watch that. Okay, Brownie, I'll make a video. I won't do a live stream. We'll take a break from a couple of live streams and I'll make a video with Karina in Las Vegas. And me also. Karina and Diego's trip to Las Vegas. Okay, I'll make a video. I'll make it, what, about 20 minutes long? A 20-minute video so you can watch that and don't get bored. Felix Yeboah. Hi, Diego. My case says ready. Case created. 19 December 2023. Last updated 15th of October 2024. Felix Mandu salute. In Ghana, you have to have two K1 visa interviews now. You got to have two K1 visa interviews. You got to have a preliminary one and then a secondary, and then the primary and the secondary. So if you are an applicant, if you are a beneficiary that lives in Ghana, you're going to have to go to the U.S. consulate, the U.S. embassy in Accra, Ghana, twice. Okay, why is that? Well, there's been a lot of fraud for green cards coming out of Ghana. I think it's like the second or number one country in the world for green card fraud. So now the U.S. ambassador in Ghana has said, okay, if you want a freaking K1 visa, you live in Ghana, you're going to come to two K1 visa interviews. We want to see you face to face twice. So it's going to take a little bit longer to get a K1 visa interview in Ghana. You got to do two interviews. Let's see here. So Brownie, I'll make a video in Las Vegas with Karina Diego's big adventure to Las Vegas. Maybe I'll take it to the Grand Canyon too. The Grand Canyon. I'll bring the camera and I'll be with Karina. Now I don't like heights now anymore. I couldn't care less about heights in the past, but I don't like heights now. But I'll get the camera. I'll make a video at the Grand Canyon, right? In Las Vegas, and we're gonna go tour the parts of Nevada, and we'll make a 20-minute video. MVA means Motor Vehicle Administration. Okay, so in Maryland, it's MVA. In Florida, it's DMV. DMV in Florida, MVA in Maryland. Alex Moe, what should be the total price you pay for everything if you exclude filing for travel permit? $1,700. $1,700 is the price for the green card, the biometrics, and the work permit. That's the total price for the whole shebang. Larry Piercy, when are you going to go to Las Vegas? I don't know yet. I got to plan it around Karina's work schedule. Okay, Karina, and I'm not going to say when we're going. Okay, this YouTube channel goes around the world, 260 countries. So I'm not going to tell anybody when we're not home. But you'll know we were in Las Vegas because I'm going to publish the video. You go, oh, look, there's a video. Let me see here. Tammy, to Mrs. Asadu, I need an ID for him to add to my bank account. That's true. And lease here in Broward County. So that's Broward County. So that's in South Florida. That's correct. And Brownie says, that sounds fun. I'll be watching from my new home in Missouri. So I'll tell you what, I'll make a video from Karina's trip to the Grand Canyon, to Vegas. And it's not just going to be boring, Las Vegas strip stuff. I want to take it to all these nice restaurants in Las Vegas. I've been to Las Vegas 3 or 4 times. So I know where the best restaurants are. I know where the tourist sites are. I'll take her to the aquarium. We'll go to the aquarium. We'll probably skip the the dinosaur museum. We'll probably skip that. I've done dinosaur museums with Karina in Colombia. But I'll make a nice video for you guys. Okay, I've been talking for 1 hour and 23 minutes. Do I have any more questions? Any more questions? Because I'm getting hungry. And Karina said she's going to make me a hamburger. And I tell you what, that hamburger is like sounding real good right now. If I don't have any more questions, I'm going to go and enjoy one of Karina's fantastic hamburgers with poco frijoles y papas fritas. Poco papas fritas, with a few French fries and some beans, and I'm good to go. All right, Mrs. Asadu, good night, guys. I'll see you soon. Brownie RSPS. Take care, guys. I'll see you soon. And when we come back from Vegas, it's not going to be this year. It's going to be next year. But it's going to be early next year. I will publish the video, and you're going to go, hey, look at that. Karina had a trip to Vegas. And I don't talk to anybody off the air, Tammy. I do it all here on YouTube. I do everything in YouTube. Okay. But we'll see you guys at the next live stream. What's today? Wednesday? The next live stream is Wednesday. It's Saturday, right? But maybe I'll do a surprise live stream on Friday. How about that?